Okay, we're back here with some more short film filmmakers from Short Film Showcase 1. That's really hard to say. Can we start from this end? Just introduce yourself, the name of your film, and just a quick recap of the summary of the film. Just remind us.
So hi, I'm Nadine. Why We Cry was my film, and it was about a grieving woman lost who finds hope and purpose in life through a dog.
Hi, I'm Maud. My film is It's Not Me, It's You, about best friends who end up, one of them reveals that she's not going to live with her anymore. And yeah, tragedy.
Hi, I'm Emily. My film was Emma, the first one. That was a bit of a trick. It's aimed to be like a slice of life, and then I reveal that at the end that the other character wasn't there and that they'd passed away.
So let's talk about the idea. Did it first come to you in a sentence, in an image? What was it that came to you first about your films? Start with yourself.
Okay, so Why We Cry came about essentially through an opportunity that, so the DOP, my lovely cameraman Hugo said, okay, in 2.5 weeks' time you can have me. I was like, okay, and I didn't have an idea, and I went to sleep. This sounds so woo-woo and stuff. I said, brain, please give me an idea because I need to create something. And I woke up to the word bark and just went, okay, there's going to be a dog in my film. And I've, in a previous life, worked as a funeral celebrant, so I've worked with grieving people and things like that. So it just kind of grew from there. It was like, what have I got? I've got a house, I've got this, I've got that. Let's find someone with a dog.
They do say don't work with children and animals.
I know.
How did you find working with the dog?
Monty was glorious. I actually said to my DOP before we went ahead, I said, have you worked with a dog before? He went, oh, hang on a minute, hang on. Like you're going to use so much of your day trying to get the dog to do something. I said, that wasn't my question. I said, have you worked with a dog before? And he went, no. And I said, well, come on then, let's go for the challenge. And actually Monty was, like, they were the only people who applied. And he was just glorious. And we worked around him. We made the decision that rather than trying to get him to do something, whatever he does, we will work with. And I watch it now and I just think, like, when because the other lady is his owner, and so when she leaves the house and he looks longingly after her, or when she comes back at the end to pick him up and he just gets up on the chair, these are all just things that he did, and we just worked around that because we had one day, so we just had to make it work.
So like it was relatively easy then.
He was glorious. There was things I wish he would have done. I wanted him to round his back and all that sort of stuff, and he didn't. But I was like, okay, it's fine. We just keep moving. So.
Well, how did the idea come around for you?
Well, that conversation, I guess, did happen between my flatmate, and I thought it had actually been really civil, and we'd actually just gone, we popped like a bottle of champagne, it'd been fine. Actually, Prosecco, I'd say, more like Tesco's £8 bottle of Prosecco. But no, we that conversation had happened, and I was like, what if it had gone sort of elsewhere? What if the conversation had kind of gone more into the realm of like someone reacting in a way that was slightly insane, and like really trying to keep it together, but obviously like losing her head a bit. And then I kind of just Beth, the character I play, is sort of this. Someone who reacts in a way that maybe, I don't know, if you could imagine acting in a way that was like slightly sort of mad, I think, but sort of like, but she doesn't really have any sort of like social barriers in the sense. She sort of just says what's on her mind. So that's how kind of like the character grew and the idea formed, and it's sort of I wrote it really quickly. I sort of was like, it just came out. I think sometimes when these things come, it's so great, they come quickly and you just like feel you have to write them, and we've it felt slightly unfinished. It's Not Me, It's You. So I wrote a second one where they bump into each other in a yoga studio, and actually I've put them together and they feel like more they should be a sort of longer film in a sense. And yeah, they bump into each other in a yoga studio and a sort of argument ensues. But like at the same time they're saying namaste. So they're trying to keep
So it's not very zen, is it?
yeah.
So Emma came from my own loss of my mum, and I wanted to portray a female relationship or connection, but I wanted to keep it quite ambiguous for the audience, so people could connect in their own way to the relationship and with their own personal loss. And the way I reveal was inspired by like watching things like The Sixth Sense and Mr. Robot, where in Mr. Robot he hallucinates that he sees his father and he's talking to his father and you think that he's real and it's all but yeah, and then later on you see, oh, like you have the little shot, oh, they're not there. So yeah, that was how that came about.
What was one thing for all of you that you learnt about yourself, either as a creative person or just personally, maybe from making this film, that you maybe didn't know about yourself at the beginning? Can you think of anything?
It's great making stuff. I sort of like, and the joy of being able to do it is like, it just feels like such a privilege, and just the joy, and then also how it sort of doesn't end. Like, I don't know, I'm an actor and sometimes when you finish a project that's it, but this has been like, you go to festivals, you see it, like everything is just, it's so exciting and gives you like creative freedom. But yeah, I mean, I wish we could do it, as they were saying, Monday, But I think making stuff and putting things out there has been for me such a revelatory journey.
I think for me, it's a reminder of actually, I think lots of people might get this, that you can do the hard things, like that actually sometimes we look outside of ourselves for somebody else to do some of the things that actually, if you look, you can do it yourself. It's like actually have some more faith and belief in yourself that you can do these things. And yeah, so that was what I got from this project, because I was like, oh no, I need this and I need this person to do that, and oh, I'm supposed to have X, Y, Z if this is seen as something that's professional or whatever, but actually, no, you'll notice it's a little bit cringy the number of times my name is in the credits. It's like, oh, because I did do that, I did do that. So yeah, it's great to have a big team, but you shouldn't let that stop you from making something, because we've all got a lot of resources within us.
I found that I really enjoyed like emotive storytelling and using my own experiences and what I've been through to like as material for the film. And I find it's a good resource to like use what we know and experience, and then you can connect with the audience through like relatable things and themes, and yeah, just create deeper connections with the audience.
Can you each remember a challenge that you had whilst making the film and how you overcame it? Could be something logistical, could be something, a shot maybe, or is there anything? Not Monty the dog by the sound of it.
I mean,
it sounded like it was a
I feel like there's so many things in Why We Cry that I go, oh God. When we got the audio back, it was really bad. And we just had to work around things. There was so many different shots in there that ultimately my brain had to compartmentalize and go, it's fine, it could be ethereal. That thing that's being a bit juddery there, it's just because her life's in limbo. That just, so, yeah, there's so many things, but I'm still proud of it. It's the first thing I've ever made, and so, yeah, there was lots of challenges, lots.
Yeah, I think just also fitting in, like, I was shot over one day, and
Yeah.
timing, you're just like, And it's like you have to remind yourself to just like take a breath, and it's like, and you feel like it's going to be the end of the world if you're not, because obviously money, time, people, and people relying on it, and you and trusting you for some mad reason. But like, it's sort of like keeping, that you have to, especially if you're in it, you sort of feel like you're, and you have to remember that to chill basically, and that you're not saving lives, but you're,
Yeah, I think the same, because it was a student film, I had a deadline, so it was like I needed to get everything done within that time, and I had to kind of just use who I knew because it was quicker. So like it was like the actors were like my classmates, and then the classmates' partner was the DOP, and he was really amazing, and then it came together, but it was very fast, and that was all shot in one day as well.
Yeah.
Right from the top of the morning until
Like
like
a 1 day
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, we've done today. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just being quick.
Was there a moment in your life where you were like, I want to be a filmmaker? And can you remember that? Or did it come more kind of organically?
Filmmaker, that's probably a lot more recent. I know as a child I wanted to act, and then life took me in a completely different path, and so it was only when I was 50, like 3 years ago, I was like, I still want to do this thing, and life's too short. I still want to do this thing, so I've got to do this thing. And then being in a couple of student projects and things, I was like, I really want to do this as well. I've got lots of ideas, and I'm a bit bossy, and so yeah, it's probably in terms of wanting to be a filmmaker, not just acting. That would probably literally be a year or two. So,
but the desire was always there to be
within this,
and,
to be creative, and to be within this industry, and lifelong. I was a little girl going, I want to be this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that not like a filmmaker, but just wanting to do it, and I think it just becomes that creative energy that you get when you're sort of in that sort of flow. I mean, I say flow state, that sounds, but you sort of are in a flow state. Now I say, but like on the day, you're sort of in this kind of like you're really present and in the moment, and it's just great when you get that. And again, like when ideas come, they kind of feel like gems because they don't come all the time. You don't know when they're going to come. But I think sometimes it's just like everyone's story around the campfire is just as relevant. And I think that's how it's felt to me. It's like you've got a voice. Like I always felt like I didn't really have the right or whatever. But like, and then you're like, actually, we all do, and we've all got a story to tell. This. So it's and that's why this festival's so great, because it's like you can see just so many different voices at once, and you're like,
So I actually trained as a dancer, and like made my way in through like dance filmmaking. So that's what my master's was in, and that's and then I realised it should have been a dance because it was a dance. It was screen dance, my master's, but I wanted to do a narrative. I really wanted to tell a story. So I think actually from making this film, I realised like this is what I want to do. Like maybe it doesn't have to always be film. Maybe it's like in a theatre, or maybe I'm writing a book. But just telling stories, like I really enjoy that, and I do enjoy like being on set and being part of just like how it gets built to be on the screen, with the elements that are built and make this really amazing picture, and then there's random things happening in the background that you don't know that like built the image, and it's just seeing that magic, how it gets made.
So speaking of telling stories, last question from me, what's each of your next projects? Do you want to start at the end? What are you making next?
I've got some ideas, but nothing concrete yet. I've mainly been working on other people's projects at the moment, but I'm thinking to maybe do the horror route, a bit of a thriller. I dabbled in that in my masters. There was little tiny shorts that I did that I'd love to full idea. And then in the long run, a feature is in mind. So I grew up with parents with mental health issues, and I thought it would be a good way to like tell the story of like our experience. And I want to play with how, like I did in the film, when you think something's real and then actually it's not. I want to play with the perspective of the person with mental health issues, and we're in their world and we think that's real, and then actually it gets flipped and you're like, oh, actually that's not. And then you see other perspectives as well. So yeah, lots of planning for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Toothbrush Mug is the sequel, which it has been made actually. It's just like going to do a screening, and then and they bump into each other at a yoga studio, and sort of this argument ensues. I felt like from It's Not Me It's You, it could have gone any. We could have seen Beth going like completely mad, you know, just like tying Amy to a radiator or something. we don't. So Toothbrush Mug is the sequel, and I like there is a third as well where we like there's a third in the running, and I don't think I'm quite done yet with Beth for some reason. Like I feel like there's more that she can be seen doing, and then
my next project is called Missing, and it's about, I don't want to give too much away because it's basically about trying to find yourself.
Okay.
That's that. So and it's written. I have most of the cast ready. I just need to find the money. As with answering that gentleman's question, is essentially so much of it does just come down to funding. Even if you've got a team of people who are prepared to give you their time and all those things, you do still ultimately need money, don't you? So it's ready to go.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Congratulations on your films as well, because I know for one or two of you it's very, very early in your journey.
Yes.
So congratulations. Thank you for coming and representing, and look forward to seeing you again. Can I have a round of applause, please, for our filmmakers? Thank you.